Things just kind of played out a little different than I expected.
Our relationship was built on complete communication. We were long distance for a year and a half.
We got preoccupied to the point where we forgot about each other almost.
And that's when the argument started.
If you really want to help me, then help me. If I had the problem.
We just neglected ourselves to make sure the kids was okay.
We are 1,200 miles in every direction from everybody that we know. It just pushed us further and further away because we didn't have any help. We are masking our own struggles. We have been thinking about divorce. All right, she's not eating anything. I gotta find her something to eat.
She's not getting nothing else to eat.
Babe, she gotta eat. She hasn't eaten anything all day.
If she gonna eat, she can finish that. She's not getting nothing else to eat.
That's not how autism works.
Well,
No.
Hey, babe. I found the speech therapist for Miko. I think that we can probably get her in there. I think we need the help. I think she really could benefit from it.
I mean, I would disagree. I don't think she needs therapy. I mean, I think she'll learn it on her own. I think over time she'll get it, but yeah, I think she's fine. She good. Or we can help her. So I mean, she'll be okay.
Now, because he don't follow me.
Not tonight, babe. I cannot do this tonight. I've been back and forth with Miko all day. You didn't even really help me with her today. Not to mention the meeting at the school with Matthew. I can't. I'm sorry, babe.
So I know y'all can tell I haven't like really been in the videos a lot lately. There's just been a lot going on. I just been just detached, if I'm being honest. So just to kind of rewind a little bit, ever since I got out the military, just coming up on 2 years now, I just kind of felt off a little bit. I got out with a plan. I got out knowing things that I wanted to do to kind of transition back into civilian life. And things just kind of played out a little different than I expected. So I think with that, I just started to kind of feel just out of the loop of my own family dynamic.
And I can see how, when you think about the military, when you think about how it was structured, you were always away, and I was able to create a family dynamic without you.
You think that coming up with a system for the household based off of a video I showed you that you
Was
misunderstood.
not based off of the video that you showed me. You decided to show me that video.
You had some waking moment that you should be doing what you used to do when you were by yourself.
You weren't always there. And so everything to our morning routine, to our night routine each day was based on it just being me and the children. And so I also didn't know how to incorporate you in it after doing it for so long. And I didn't even realize that.
That was difficult to like kind of deal with, just getting out, and just we got to a point where we never were before.
Yeah.
So it almost like it wasn't just a new experience, it was just like we were new people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
And you have to realize though too, the day that you got out is the day that we found out about Miko's autism. It's when we started to suspect like, okay, there is something different about her and we need to figure out what it is.
It's like I didn't have time to like kind of cope with what I was dealing with.
You were going through something personal because the military was something that you considered to be I wouldn't say a dream of yours, but something that you really strive to perfect. That's something very hard to deal with. And so that with me trying to learn about it and teach you about it and you trying to get familiar back with her and her familiar with you and then, you know,
Yeah.
I think that was just something we didn't expect.
Especially when like all of our time and effort and resources, it seemed like had to go to all the kids, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it just felt like we kind of got to where we got preoccupied to the point where we forgot about each other almost.
And that's when the argument started. That's when every little thing was becoming an argument. We were nitpicking, pushing each other buttons, and
Just overall disagreeing, really. Like,
yeah.
just couldn't see eye to eye for some reason.
Our relationship was built on complete communication. We were long distance for a year and a half, just talking. And so I think that we forgot about that.
Dealing with the autism thing, it's like it's so easy to get lost in providing that aid or support for somebody else that for me it's just easy to get consumed and like neglect myself. And it was like that same way when it came to our marriage. It's a conflict for me of like wanting to be there, but also need some time to like kind of recharge.
Yeah. And you know what? One of the biggest things that I started to realize at that point was that we didn't have any type of community. We are 1,200 miles in every direction from everybody that we know. It just pushed us further and further away because we didn't have any help.
I was sleeping on the couch for like 2 weeks straight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like,
Not because he chose to, but because Miko's going through her stretch of like she doesn't want to be in her room and she'll come into our room in the middle of the night and it's really hard for us both, all of us, to sleep in the bed together with her there. So he just started sleeping on the couch. Something like that, when you can't even sleep in the same bed as your spouse, that affects your sex life. And I think that was just something where it just started to feel like you were more of my roommate. And I think that was like the one thing that was saving us for so long until her sleep regression. Then we're like, that's gone. We're
I
done.
mean, it seemed like it's only one thing left that can go wrong, and that's just the entire marriage, you know? It's like neither one of us wanted to experience a divorce or we don't want to. I mean, we love each other.
The one thing that reminded me that it was worth it was that even though we were arguing with each other, even though the conversations weren't as smooth as they used to be, it still proved the point that we had it in us to fight for each other.
I think deep down, I fight as hard as I do because from experience, I know what it's like to be completely disconnected from the person you're with. It makes me push so hard so that I don't experience being away from her as long as I have my first son.